to the Marie Manuchehri Show. We're live here in really rainy Seattle. Although I did get my mowing done last night. It was so beautiful yesterday.
I think a lot of people did.
Yeah.
It seemed like they were all going on around the neighborhoods.
Yeah, I got the mowing done, planted all those tulips that were in my driveway.
You got that done. That's
I got
good.
it all done.
Did you know the Tulip Festival up north, in
Yeah.
Skagit or Snohomish? No, I think Skagit. The original farm, they're actually putting it on the market.
Really?
So you have a chance if you'd like to run that.
Oh, yeah, no. It's too far. It's Mount Vernon. It's too far.
So beautiful.
So beautiful there. So is that means we're not going to have the Tulip Festival
Well,
anymore?
they are hoping a buyer will keep it going.
Oh.
So, they've been doing it for over 60 years.
I didn't realize it was
and-
a private.
Yep.
I just thought maybe it was part of the city or something.
No, it's
'Cause
private
it's
land, and
huge.
they let the public, for a certain amount of time when they are in
Walk
season.
the
And you have
fields.
to walk the fields.
And then you can buy tulips there too. You can buy,
Yep.
and they have so many unique varieties. It's really well. That's interesting. Why don't you buy it?
Do you know what my commute would be?
Yeah, I know.
It'd be a little
crazy.
hellacious, right?
It'd be crazy. So the Mueller report is now released, and it's redacted beauty. I don't know how much redaction there's going to
Yeah.
be, but the fact that our attorney general had to come out and basically act as if he's the lawyer for the president rather than the lawyer for the United States, and kind of soften the blow makes me very, 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 very curious.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So I think I'll be listening to Rachel Maddow tonight
Yeah,
while I
a lot of people will be tuning in.
make some dinner and just kind of see what's going on over there.
Text
Yeah.
me what's going on
I
because
will. You don't
I'll be
want
on the
to.
baseball field with the kids. So
Great.
We've got a game. I'm going to be a little busy.
Yeah, you're gonna be busy watching those
Yeah.
cute boys throw softball,
Baseball.
baseball. So that means the ball
To them, they
harder.
hope it's soft so it doesn't hit them.
So do they want to go to baseball?
They're a little apprehensive on some things.
Okay.
It's the first year of kid pitch.
Okay.
So
what does that mean?
The kids pitch.
Oh,
There's no
were
adults.
the parents pitching
no,
before?
yeah, it was a machine.
I wouldn't let my kids play softball or baseball. You know why?
Because you were a little nervous and scared for them.
No, because
Oh.
it's way too much time. You have to sit out there for hours and hours and hours and hours and days and days. They were allowed to play soccer, which they did to their heart's content.
It's about the same thing.
No, you go to a soccer game, you're done. You don't have to sit there and wait for inning and inning and inning. Oh yeah, unless you go to a competition.
Well,
in
yeah, but those
Yakima.
are when you get a little bit older and you have a little more devotion and they want to play more. Now the boys just want to, you need to get them outside and let them run around. Kids in general.
Oh, I
so.
think it's great.
Yep,
No, it's great.
totally.
But yeah, okay. So we're taking calls today.
We are.
All right. Who do we have?
Well, let's give out the number first.
Okay.
877-825-8828 is the number for the Marie Manuchehri Show. If you're just tuning in and you're finding out who this lovely lady is, 877-825-8828.
Who complains about baseball and won't let the kids play.
Oh, yeah, right.
Although Camilla, my lovely first grandbaby, who's now 18 months old, she's going to start playing soccer.
See?
Yeah, but see, soccer's different. You just go there, you drink your latte, you stand. No, it's like 45 minutes to an hour, and you're done.
I need to get Lisa here on this conversation because her kids are a little closer than mine. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Do your kids play baseball?
No.
She
Oh,
shook
she's
her
shaking her
head.
head.
I'm telling
Okay,
you,
you
no.
stay in there. You stay in that room. I'm going to bring you in.
Okay, who do we
That's
have?
all right. Okay, Mary from Bothell is going to start us off. Hi, Mary.
Hi, thank you very much for taking my call, both of you.
Of course. What can we do for you?
Well, for the last 2 days, not today, but yesterday and the day before that, I just felt like a deflated balloon.
Exhausted. Yeah.
Just
So
laid flat. And I would like to know
why?
why and what I can do about it. I
Yeah.
tried to
I don't
tested
want
my
you to-
meridians, and they weren't going the right way.
I don't
and-
want you to do anything.
Okay.
I want you to rest. So at the end of last week's show, Benny and I were talking about the moon in Libra. It actually is full moon. It's a full moon, not a new moon. It's a super, super, super big full moon. And it's on Friday. And this is a huge energetic shift in our consciousness because Libra is about balance. And so when people, and this is about relationships, if people are having relationships that are out of balance, they're not going to want to continue those relationships. So they're going to pull back significantly. And I don't mean there's going to be major arguing and fighting. I think just a lot of people are going to just even vibrate away from each other. There could be some arguing and fighting. Our family's having some arguing and fighting that luckily has nothing to do with me, which is lovely. But so what I'm hearing from you is you're not great at setting boundaries.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on it.
Okay, so what does it mean to set a boundary from your perception? What does that mean?
figure out what I am and I'm not willing to do.
Great. I think that's a great idea. So when you set, because I don't think we have to set boundaries with others, right? I really think we need to set boundaries with ourselves. And so that means that you don't compromise. You don't go out to dinner with people you don't want to spend time with. When you're with someone and they're having a great time and you're not, and they ask you, you can say, yeah, it's really not my cup of tea. Even if they don't like that, even if that's upsetting to them, that's not your job. You're not stopping them from having a wonderful time, but you're not going to lie or pretend that everything's okay for you. Like, you get to show up as your own person over and over and over and over and over again. So Libra, the Libra full moon, super full moon, 29 degrees of Libra is sitting on you, literally sitting on you and going, babe, what do you want? Stop compromising.
Wow.
And it's exhausting to you because you don't want to do it.
I don't want to stop compromising.
Right. But, well, here's how I'm hearing it. You don't like conflict. And so you would prefer to just avoid potential conflict. But even when people assert who they are, that doesn't mean there's going to be conflict. It can be if people disagree with you or don't like what you said or don't believe you. Of course, there can be some conflict. But everyone should be okay to say how they feel about whatever they're experiencing, and the people in their lives should respect that, whatever that is. Right?
Right.
Right. So that's why you're tired.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's
it
go.
got my attention. I mean, just flat.
Yeah, you're exhausted because you don't have the energetic muscle of honoring your individuality is extremely weak. And this super full moon is asking you to go to the gym, pump up that muscle.
Okay.
Okay? You're going to have fun. You're going to notice that if you do this, that you're going to notice how much stronger you feel. And that's when people can have really, truly beautiful, intimate relationships with individuals, whether those are romantic or friendships or family members, is when you get to be who you are and someone's not contradicting you or arguing with your perception, right?
Right.
And I'm not talking about you. You're not doing this, but you have a lot of people in your life who would do this to you if you stood up for yourself.
Okay. Can you just say that one more time so I can get it clear? I'm not being who I am, speaking my truth.
Right. You're holding yourself back because
Okay.
you don't want to upset other people, and conflict. You're afraid of conflict. And what I'm saying is conflict probably won't happen. If it does, that's good information. Like, wow, this person is willing to be so mean or unkind to me when I'm just having a basic conversation about my needs or what I believe in. That's really good information because you don't want those people in your life. At least I don't.
Right.
I want people who respect me and honor me and cherish me and who believe me at my perspective, or at least honor my perspective, right?
Right. Okay.
Go have some fun.
Okay. Thank you so
You're
very
welcome.
much.
Alrighty.
Yeah, thanks, Mary, for joining us. That leaves a line open for the Marie Manuchehri Show, 877-825-8828. Let's take Stacy now, calling in from Edmonds. Stacy, are you on the water? Or are you a little bit further up on the hill?
Yes, it's
Yay!
beautiful.
You are.
It must be
Should be.
gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
It is real. I'm so glad I mowed yesterday because everything just looks so nice.
So green.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
I was thinking, oh dear, I got to get out there and mow now too.
Well, not today. Not today.
Yeah, no.
So what can I do
Well,
for you,
good morning.
Stacy? Good morning.
Thank you. I am calling because I'm chasing some grief around my body. It was in my fingers, and now I have lower back pain, and I want to release it. So I'm wondering if my guides or Steve's guides or your guides, everybody's guides have some suggestions for me.
Well, joint pain is about not letting go. So why don't you just walk around the house and just, or for the rest of your life, just repeat, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. And you don't have to know what you're surrendering about. You don't have to care about what, I don't want you to try to figure out what am I surrendering? Because a lot of things we hold on to, they're unconscious. They're not what we think, right? So so just start walking around the house. I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. And then if there's some sort of mineral or supplement that you'll need, it'll become clear and evident to you, or you'll start to maybe avoid certain foods that are inflammatory, all kinds of stuff like that.
Would that be the same for because my joints are actually resolving. It's
good.
my low back that's like crazy.
Yeah, well, there's
and
joints
I'm
in
not
there
a person
too.
with low back issues. So
Well, there's joints in there too. You've got vertebrae in the lower back and muscles and all of that. So So yeah, let's just do this. I surrender, and see what happens.
Okay.
Get a nice
Okay.
flow of energy there.
I will do that.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Thanks so much. Bye.
Sure, have a great day.
Thanks, Stacy, for joining us. 877-825-8828. We'll travel now down to Beaverton, Oregon. I'll get it out. Jan, we have standing by. Hi, Jan.
Hello.
Hi, Jan. How are you?
Good. Although I think you just answered my question with the last caller.
I love that when that
well,
happens.
then throw in another one.
but go ahead and throw in another one or whatever. Yeah.
Well, I guess do you mind just checking my chakras and if my guides have anything important to say?
So I just wrote out your chakras. You're taking in energy from the root and the crown, which is beautiful. Beautiful flow of quite a bit of energy moving into your body, which is excellent. I would say when I look at all your chakras, I love their size. I like their spin, but chakras 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are a little light in color. Like their colors are more pastel-y than brilliant primary color depth. And that just tells me that you don't easily contain your own energy. Again, we're kind of talking about this full moon again, where people give too much of themselves. They overcompromise. They don't stand in their worth. And I think that's extremely important. What do you think about that?
I've been working on that. I actually bought your book a few weeks ago, and that kind of got me on the path of trying to get myself into alignment, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
and working on the I surrender on my back, and it's so hard to stand for long periods. But
oh, is it? I'm so sorry. Yeah, I want you to stand for who you are. So this whole thing about not being able to stand for long periods with your back is going to be related because everything's energetic first, right? Before someone gets a backache or a toothache or they break a bone or their gallbladder has issues, something energetically had to shift in order for the anatomy to be affected. And the back is about our will, literally. And what happens is that individuals will align to their perception of their will, which is typically very limited. And what we're supposed to do to have a healthy spine, which is a lot of vertebrae, all on top of each other that need to be flexible and vibrant and malleable. The back's not supposed to be stiff or stern in any way. We're supposed to align to the divine. So we're supposed to align to the universe's perception, God, creation, source, whatever language you want to use. And that kind of perception is very compassionate, not just to others, but to yourself. Compassionate to yourself. And so that's what I'm picking up on, is that it would be great if you were compassionate to yourself. And you can use that as a what if question. That is a letting go for you. What if I'm compassionate to me? What if my compassion is directed at myself first and foremost?
What if I'm compassionate to myself?
Yeah. What if my compassion is directed to myself first and foremost? I can actually see a ton of energy moving into your spine as we talk about that what if question.
Okay, wrote it down.
Good. So practice it and keep me posted. I want to know if it how your back resolves. Okay?
Wonderful. It's been going on for a year, so I'm willing to do anything at this point.
Yay! I love that when we get to those, I call them Jesus moments where, you're just willing to do whatever it takes. Yeah, so good job. We wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for Jan. Thanks for joining us from Beaverton, Oregon. And she was writing stuff down. I know that some people get information fairly quickly from you. There is a solution. We encore your show again on Tuesdays at 6 a.m.
That's true.
So people, if they miss their reading today, or if they want to go back on your website and they can catch there too, we also re-encore the show.
Yeah.
On Tuesdays at 6.
Right,
just to let
6
you guys know.
a.m. in the morning on this station. And of course, you can go to my website or KKNW's website whenever it's live. You can listen to the show. And yes, all of my shows are podcasted. Thank you for reminding us of that.
Sometimes
There's hundreds of them.
Yep. Sometimes it's really cool, though, to hear your show, back live on the air. So
yeah,
from
especially
us,
if you were interviewed.
Yeah.
Or, you got to ask a question, I mean. Yeah. Okay.
We'll take one more before our first break of the hour. We'll take Natalia from Tukwila. Hi, Natalia.
Hello, Marie and Danny.
Hi. Hello, hello.
Hi, Natalia. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm changing rooms because they're blowing leaves outside or dirt.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
Of course, great timing.
Yeah.
Well, I've been doing some emotional integration, a lot of kind of work on myself, and have had some shifts. I think around my solar plexus a couple of weeks ago.
I would agree. I would agree. You've got a lot of energy moving into your solar plexus,
Yeah.
especially at the back of the vortex. So the back of the vortex is about how you see yourself in the world. And so you're changing your perception of yourself outwardly even, which is really nice. Once you change your perception of yourself, how you connect with people is very, very differently. Your energy shows up different, so people respond to you in kind. It's very, it continues the life alteration in a very positive way.
Yes, and I'm so grateful for
Yeah,
everything
you
that's
should
happening
be.
in my life.
Yes.
And I was just wondering if you had any guidance for me. I'm turning 44 next month, and
Great age. Great age.
yeah, I feel right now I'm kind of open to life, open to everything. I don't have any set goals or like anything that
I like that. I like that you don't, because now that you've changed your perception of who you are and it's now beginning to reflect out into the world, like you're holding a different vibration. People are going to respond to you differently. You're going to have different opportunities. So I think it's good not to have any goals right now or desires, and just watch what shows up, watch what comes to you, and delight in the more positive opportunities that are coming your way. I think it'll be excellent. I would work on receiving. What if I easily receive? I think that would be awesome for you to start doing, since these opportunities are going to be flying towards you on a regular basis. Okay?
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
So the rest of my energy system looks okay.
I don't see a leak anywhere.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Have a beautiful day.
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, for calling in from South Center area, Tukwila, and 877-825-8828 is the number for the show. We'll take a first break of the hour, and we'll be right back with more from Marie. Marie is happy to announce her online classes for 2019. And if you wanted to take a class from Marie, but live too far away to attend her Seattle-based workshops, now you can, from the comfort of your own home. Video recordings of these classes are included in the registration. In May, she'll be having the Energy of Money and the Art of Creating Wealth course. This 2-part course explores the positive vibration of money, attracting its vibration, and allowing for secure wealth in one's life. This 2-part online course is May 1st and May 8th from 7 to 8 p.m. For more information, visit energyintuitive.com.
Women for One is a global community that supports women in sharing their stories, claiming their voices, and making life happen on their own terms. They're advocates for women who are ready to step up, speak out, and shine while expressing themselves with vulnerable transparency. Women for One's Pacific Northwest Truth Teller Tour takes place in Kirkland, Washington on April 28th. A Truth Teller Tour is like TEDx, with vulnerability and heart. During this event, courageous truth tellers will share their most powerful stories among a safe and supportive sisterhood. The tour follows on the heels of Women for One's Your Messy Brilliance Retreat, a fun, intimate weekend of moving past obstacles and stepping into our true voices and power as women. To find out more about these events and Women for One, visit womenforone.com. That's WOMENFORONE.com.
Sweet strawberry icing. You're in Goodwill, and just past that vintage denim jacket you spot miniature donut earrings. You lean in. Ah, that's the scent of shopping success. Because at Goodwill, every item you buy funds local job training and more. So bring home those donut earrings and bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Marie Manuchehri, and I just wanted to let you know that I will be leading my second international retreat, this time to the Greek island of Syros. September 24th through the 30th, we will travel to this gorgeous Greek island and learn the art of letting go to experience incredible expansion. We will learn and practice and play with lecture, meditation, yoga, and enjoy all of the spectacular land and seascapes this magnificent and remote location has to offer. Surrounded by turquoise waters, literally, romantic sunsets, and Mediterranean flavors, you will learn about the power of allowing one's energy to bridge the cosmos, returning to you incredible desires. So please, for more information, go to energyintuitive.com. I hope to see you there. It's going to be an extraordinary experience.
Talk radio with a purpose. Alternative Talk 1150.
Welcome back to the Manuchehri Show. We're live here in, Seattle. Bellevue, really. We're like east side of Seattle. It's gorgeous. We can't see the mountains today, but usually from the studio we can see the mountains, and it's really quite stunning.
They'll pop through.
Yeah,
eventually.
They will. Yeah. So who do we have next?
Yeah, we'll take Athena calling in from, it looks like Hong Kong. So Athena, welcome to the show.
Hi, Athena.
Hi, thanks so much for taking my call.
Of course. What can I do for you?
So I, over the last 4 years or so, have been having some migrating pain in my left hip, like from the front to the glute, back to the front again, and I'm just kind of curious about.
I'm so
what
sorry.
You guys have to say about that.
I'm really sorry. That's not fun. Hips are always about not moving forward in your life. So there's something in your life you're not moving forward with. Would you agree with that, or do you feel like that you are moving forward, or?
No, I mean, honestly, like nothing is, because I've been reading a little bit about that theory, and I'm just not, it's not really resonating with me.
Right. So try not to think of it as an action item. You know, it's not about goals, jumping through goals. In your case, it's going to be more about your consciousness. So something within your consciousness, you're not allowing yourself to move forward in. You're staying, gridlocked is too strong of a word, but that's literally what your hip tells me. It also tells me how uncomfortable it can be, and that you have a very high pain tolerance. So the discomfort you have is quite significant, from what I'm being told. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't think of it as action items like that to-do list. I don't want you to think about that for you moving forward. It's about your consciousness. Do you think, and you can disagree with me, right? Anybody can. I welcome everyone's perception, because what if mine isn't accurate, right? What if I'm not translating the information correctly, or we need to use different words, perhaps, because everyone looks at life differently? Is that what I'm hearing is that you have judgments in life. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very much.
All right. So judgment is a very slowing, stifling energy, because all of us here on earth, one of the things we're learning to do, whether we're old souls or new souls or middle souls or whatever you want to call it, which is just based on the age of our soul, when we first abrupted into this reality. And I don't mean the human reality. I just mean into the cosmos, when our soul came from the divine, if you will, or the massive power of energy that exists, that holds everything together. The universe, the divine, this energy that we came from, is non-judgmental. And so humans are learning to be non-judgmental. And that's extremely important. In fact, the more judgments we have, and they could be little things, we are repressing our consciousness, literally. So I want you to work on that. And you could literally make up a what-if question for that. What if I release all judgment? And then your hip can relax, and the joint can relax, and the muscles can relax, and the fascia. Have you done anything for the fascia?
Yeah, and that's how I've been kind of sustaining the pain.
Good. So you're going to have to let go of your judgments. Sorry. But it's time for them to go. And what I am hearing now, it's a 10-year delay. So in other words, the universe says you've been ready to release that perception, that limited perception that you've allowed yourself to kind of hang out in for a decade. You've been ready for a decade, and you keep resisting, which resistance is part of the human condition. We all have resistance. What we want to do is be able to embrace our resistance and move beyond it, and not allow it to become an active participant in our life. And then a lot of things are going to change for you. Pardon, what were you going to say, Athena?
No, that sounds magical.
Yay! Yay! And it'll just be so much fun anyway. It's going to feel good, right? It's going to feel great.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Keep me posted on your hip.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Athena, for joining us from Hong Kong. That leaves another line open. 877-825-8828 is the number. And we'll take now Robin calling in from Marysville, Washington. Hi, Robin. Welcome to the show. Have you seen the tulips yet?
I have not seen the tulips,
Oh, okay.
but I hear they're blooming.
See? Yes, they
are. Well, they're
Yeah.
blooming in my yard.
Well, then let's all go to Marie's house.
Yeah, we'll just sit on the front porch and just hang out. Yeah. What can I do for you, Robin?
Well, so nice to talk to you. Thank you for
Oh,
taking
of
the call.
course, of course.
So I'm having a similar issue to a caller who you just
The
spoke
hip,
with.
right?
And I'm
Interesting.
having some lower back pain.
I'm so sorry. I love it's kind of our theme today, right? Lower back, hips, glutes, sciatica.
What's going on with that?
Well, remember what I said about this full moon in Libra? And I'm not an astrologer, but I love astrology. So I know little pieces, but not a lot. So this is our second super full moon in Libra at a very close degree. So the first one was I don't know how many weeks ago it was. It was a full moon, and it was at 0 degrees. And 0 degrees is very significant. We had 5 major moons at 0 degree, one after the other, which is fascinating. This one that we're having on Friday is at 29 degrees. So the 0 degrees means new beginnings. The 29 degrees means endings. So people are being forced to end things in their life that are not good for them, that are out of balance, that aren't rewarding, that aren't fulfilling, that don't really heighten their frequency or their vibration. So that's what that's about, and I think you might be a little slow at this. Would you agree?
Probably, yes.
And you can disagree with me, right? Like you can go, that's not true. I'm not like that. And because it's in Libra, there's going to be a lot of relationships that are connected to it. So it could mean different things to different people, but let's say the overall general awareness of this super full moon is it's about ending certain relationships or revamping them to a place where they can be healthy and fulfilling. And if they're not, then it's time to kind of walk away from them.
Okay.
Can you recognize some of that in your life? Does that make sense?
I feel like I have been looking at that.
Oh,
lately,
good.
And do you feel like I'm going in the right direction?
Well, you need
I've
to
been working on with that?
Absolutely, if you're looking at it, but this requires action because this is a concluding super full moon. So it requires action.
Okay.
And a lot of times what I've noticed in relationships that were no longer serving me, I don't have to do a thing. They just disappear.
Okay.
Literally. They just oh, that's weird. That person doesn't like me anymore. Huh. I don't know what happened. I even tried to find out what happened, but they don't want to talk about it. So, okay, fine.
Okay.
So humans have this weird thing, like we have to figure it all out, or we got to fix it, or,
Right.
Well, no, things can actually fix on their own and revitalize at a better point in individuals' relationships, if that makes sense.
So where's the balance point between not trying to figure it out, yet taking action to,
Well, so let's say that's a great question. Here's I don't even know what the word I'm trying to look for right now, but here's an example. Let's say that someone asks you out for dinner, a friend or someone like that, and you normally would say yes, even though every time you go out to dinner with them, you feel exhausted and worn out, and you don't enjoy the experience for the most part unless you have a few drinks. Let's say the next time they ask you out, you say no. I'm sorry, I'm busy, I can't. That's the action item.
Okay.
Focusing on what's going to bring you joy and happiness instead of focusing on what can I do to avoid conflict, and I don't want to say no, and I don't want this person to pry or try to go out with me the next week. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
this is about honoring yourself. It's not about how the other person responds. It's not about what they think or what they believe in. It's about, are you having fun? Are you enjoying yourself? Are you feeling fulfilled?
Okay.
Does that help?
That does help. Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
So these are the action items I want you to start taking today
Okay.
so that we can get everything healing and not locking up in these places where we're trying to control things.
Okay.
Okay?
So it's purely kind of an energetic thing going on.
Everything's about energy. I think your situation is energetic, yes.
Okay.
But I always encourage people to have checkups and,
Right.
I think that's just healthy, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I
Okay.
bet Marysville's gorgeous.
I bet it is,
It's a
too.
really stunning
Mhm.
place. Yes.
All right, we'll take now David calling in from Bothell. Hi, David. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going?
Great, David. How are you?
Doing good.
Great.
Doing good.
What can I do for you?
Well, I am in the middle of launching a whole bunch of things business-wise, and I've been working on this website to kind of get like all of my art and my healing work out there.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of flying on it the other day. I was feeling like super pumped up about it. I was like really doing well. And then I was like, oh man, but what about money? Like I need money for this. And I'm like, what about a Kickstarter? What if I did a Kickstarter? And I started like taking off down this road, and I just got more fearful and more fearful.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I spun out and I'm like, can't even move again. So I'm like, is the Kickstarter like, don't do it, or is it an invitation into like, you need to face this fear?
Yeah.
I can't tell which one it is.
Well, here's what I think. I think you can't make a decision if you're in fear. So I wouldn't do a Kickstarter out of fear. I would only make decisions out of joy, literally joy. So what I love that you're conscious of this. Like I can see your awareness. This is a very prominent part of dissolving patterns and belief systems, right? That could be centuries old. I think this poverty consciousness thing is centuries old. I'm seeing a picture of you as a priest, actually, long time ago, like maybe in Spain, you know, and you're wearing this, it's like a gorgeous black, like stunning long, well, they're dresses to me, but I don't know what they call them for priests, right? And you have this really beautiful necklace on that's probably like a rosary or something like that. And you are just adored and cherished by parishioners. But it's like this whole thing of, you know, people who work within the churches, especially when we look at Catholicism, it's about agreeing to an obedient life of poverty. That's the agreement, right? So, and so in your mind and in your vibration, you've been struggling, in my opinion, with this whole idea of, you know, I want to be of service, but I don't want to be in poverty. And I think I don't think that they're even slightly connected. I think that being of service means to be of joy. I think you figured that out pretty well, and right? But poverty is just not healthy for anyone. It doesn't matter who they are.
Right.
And back in the day when we had a lot more activity, and I'm just going to use Catholicism because that's the only thing that I really understand in the church world, basically, is that when the nuns and the priests, you know, lived in convents and things of that nature, they were richly rewarded, the majority of them. You know, they had excellent food from the villages. You know, people they loved religion so much that they idolized those who devoted their lives to God. It's not like that anymore. It hasn't been like that for quite a while, right? So your job is to erase this poverty consciousness. So when your job on top of that is to feel joy every time you think of money. You have to train yourself. The mind is like a dog, right? And dogs need to be trained. They don't like to be alone. They don't know what to do. Their memory isn't that long. That's why people have to say no or yes to dogs all day long. Where cats, I just give a look to one of my cats and he knows exactly what I'm thinking. Like, yeah, she knows I peed on the carpet 3 weeks ago, and I was kind of walking over there just to smell if there was any residue left, and she gave me that look, and then, you know, they're running up the stairs as fast as they can. Dogs go, hey, do you want to come smell this with me? This is interesting, you know. So you have to train your mind not to have that reaction because you're having a cellular reaction. And what I would recommend, you know, if we could substitute dogs with kids here if we want to, adorable, wonderful beings, you would just be nurturing your child if they were afraid to ride a bike or they fell down once and they got scared or they whatever. So you need to be, Dave, I love you. You're an amazing man. I'm super proud of you. You're on the right track. And we're learning to fall in love with money, and we're learning to believe that we're worthy and value of whatever wealth we want to have in our life. So start talking to yourself kindly. Move through these moments, which I think you're on the verge of doing that anyway because your consciousness is aware. A lot of times when people have a reaction, they can't tell the difference. Right?
Right.
But so you're in that place where you've got the awareness like, oh, I'm reacting. Wow, I'm scared again. But now you can start being loving and kind to yourself and use what if questions. What if I'm immensely successful?
Right.
What if I can do whatever I want and have all the wealth I desire?
Yeah, I kind of had this thought last night there, like whatever my stressful story becomes, because I've noticed that my stress comes out in story. Like when I meet with my friends or whatever, I'm like, this is my new dilemma, and I
wouldn't talk about
paying attention.
And I would not talk about whenever you want to manifest something, you cannot talk about what you don't want with anyone. The throat chakra is so powerful that you're going to be sending out a vibration of limitation and poverty consciousness or whatever out into the universe. So you can't talk negatively about resources and expect to start attracting it and allow it to flow in your life in the way you desire. So you can't talk about it to your friends.
Okay.
No matter what. Okay?
All right.
All right.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
I
Keep me
appreciate
posted.
it.
Sure.
Thanks, David, for joining us. 877-825-8828.
That was fun.
Yes, of course it
I
was.
loved that one. That
Yeah.
was really fun. Well, because I love money, and I think that if everyone were to recognize that wealth is a natural part of our existence, then we could all have more fun and more choice and more options and be able to help more people too. And everyone does. People do, it doesn't even matter how much money people have. A lot of people are extremely generous, but wouldn't it be nice if everyone could just allow that energy into their life, because it's purely just an energy.
I hear you. I feel you. 877-825-8828. We'll take one more before our last break. It's Tina calling in from Newport, Oregon. Hi, Tina.
Hi. How are you guys today?
We're great, Tina. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for taking my
Of
call.
course. What can I do for you?
I was wondering if you could just read my chakras, and I also want to ask about some right shoulder pain that I've been having for a couple of weeks.
So here,
go ahead.
Okay, good. Yeah, thank you. So first of all, did you happen to eat a lot of fat, like fried foods, things of that nature over the last few weeks or the last month? Because
Yes, I was on vacation.
Because your gallbladder's talking to me.
Probably ate whatever. Probably a little more, not watching that stuff as carefully.
Yeah, because you like that stuff, Right. So.
But it's not good for me.
And it's not. So I believe you still have your gallbladder. This is true, correct? Right. So this right shoulder pain is all related to your gallbladder.
Okay.
That's how I'm seeing it, interpreting it. So there is a natural remedy that works really, really well for decompressing the gallbladder. Or if someone's missing their gallbladder, it will help their body to emulsify fats. That's one of the roles of the gallbladder, is to emulsify fats. It also delivers digestive enzymes to the stomach. I mean, it's a lovely organ. It's what it is also in its kind of its shadow side, if that's a correct term or not. Frustration can absorb frustration. So you want to keep your frustration low, but first thing in the morning, just drink a hot cup of warm water and push some fresh lemon juice in it, or squeeze a lemon, into it and drink it. And that will decompress your gallbladder. And then the pain in that right shoulder will start to decrease.
Great.
And no more deep fried fish and chips.
I know.
I can smell them. And I don't eat them because I don't eat wheat, but one of my favorite foods. Are you kidding? In fact, they're going to be putting a restaurant on Lake Washington Boulevard. They're putting an Ivers in there. They're taking out a hamburger joint and they're putting an Ivers in there. And I'm just like, I hope they have gluten-free breading, because I really want some filleted cod and French fries.
Maybe they will.
I hope so. I hope so.
And do you see my chakras and my need to work on any?
Well, when I write out someone's energy, I'm not always looking for what's wrong. I'm just looking for, what does the universe want me to share with this person, right? Your third eye in the front is stunning. You're really intuitive. And I want you to really work on that. I want you to work on learning to get out of your mind and quiet it and rest in your body and start listening to the universe. I think it's going to help your life enormously. You already have a good life from what I can see, but it's going to help your life enormously. Open up doors that you didn't even know were available to you. I think that humans are evolving towards making choices out of intuition versus logic. I think that's really healthy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel that.
All right.
Thank you.
I hope your shoulder feels better soon. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
While you were talking about Ivers, I was looking it up too. Let's see here. Where do they have it? They have locations that do offer a gluten-free menu. Ivers Acres of Clams. You may be pleasantly surprised to learn our house smoked salmon and corn chowder, our Northwest seafood chowder, and even our corn-based thickeners, along with many other alternative grains. It's amazing how the food textures be, gluten-free.
Yeah, okay, so good. So, Kid Valley's leaving Lake Washington Boulevard in Kirkland, and Ivers is moving in.
There you go.
So I'm going to be hanging out there and getting some fish and chips, hopefully.
It's all about a lovely day.
It is.
877-825-8828 for the Marie Manuchehri Show, and we'll be right back with the last segment.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love,
Hi, this is Marie Manuchehri, and I just wanted to let you know that I will be leading my second international retreat, this time to the Greek island of Syros. September 24th through the 30th, we will travel to this gorgeous Greek island and learn the art of letting go to experience incredible expansion. We will learn and practice and play with lecture, meditation, yoga, and enjoy all of the spectacular land and seascapes this magnificent and remote location has to offer. Surrounded by turquoise waters, literally, romantic sunsets, and Mediterranean flavors, you will learn about the power of allowing one's energy to bridge the cosmos, returning to you incredible desires. So please, for more information, go to energyintuitive.com. I hope to see you there. It's going to be an extraordinary experience.
180 over 111, and I had a stroke. I couldn't speak or walk.
150 over 90, and I had a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure sounds like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a stroke are far from silent. Get back on your treatment plan or talk with your doctor to create a plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
Head to toe, everything's changed.
Brought to you by the American Stroke Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
Marie is happy to announce her online classes for 2019. And if you wanted to take a class from Marie, but live too far away to attend her Seattle-based workshops, now you can, from the comfort of your own home. Video recordings of these classes are included in the registration. In June, step into the veil. This course describes Marie's perception of the other side, while teaching the vibrational frequency necessary to communicate with loved ones or friends who now live on the other side. This two-part course is June 5th and June 12th. 7 to 8:30 p.m. For more information, visit energyintuitive.com.
Women for One is a global community that supports women in sharing their stories, claiming their voices, and making life happen on their own terms. They're advocates for women who are ready to step up, speak out, and shine while expressing themselves with vulnerable transparency. Women for One's Pacific Northwest Truth Teller Tour takes place in Kirkland, Washington on April 28th. A Truth Teller Tour is like TEDx, with vulnerability and heart. During this event, courageous truth tellers will share their most powerful stories among a safe and supportive sisterhood. The tour follows on the heels of Women for One's Your Messy Brilliance Retreat, a fun, intimate weekend of moving past obstacles and stepping into our true voices and power as women. To find out more about these events and Women for One, visit womenforone.com. That's WOMENFORONE.com.
Going against the grain has never been this much fun. Alternative Talk 1150.
Then I look at you, and the world's all right with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
And welcome back to the Marie Manuchehri Show. Thank you, Benny. That's great music. I love it. And one of our listeners who kindly writes into the Gmail when I don't know the answer to something and offers me information, Susie Hutchins, she wrote in that the last full moon in Libra was 4 weeks and 1.5 days ago. So about a month ago, we had a full moon in 0 degrees Libra, super full moon, and now we're having the final full moon in Libra for this year at 29 degrees, super full moon. Pretty significant, actually. Very, very cool. All right, so we're taking callers.
Yep, we are, and we'll take now Shelly calling in from, is it Camarillo, California? Is that how you pronounce it?
It's Camarillo.
Camarillo. Ah, 50-50
Yeah.
on that
Hi,
one.
good morning, you guys.
Hi, morning.
Good morning. What can we do for you?
I'm so excited to talk to you, Marie. I am
Is
a
this
big
our-
fan.
Aw,
I've
thank
read your
you.
book
Oh, thank
years
you.
ago.
Oh, thank
and
you.
reread it recently. So I love your work.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Is this your first time calling into the show?
It is. I just found your radio show recently.
Oh,
so
wonderful.
I
So what?
really enjoy it.
Great. Thank you so much. And what can I do for you?
Well, I am 56 years old, and I've been in perimenopause for what seems like forever. And recently it's kind of, really stepped up. And it's really the emotional stuff that I have the most trouble with. I consider myself a pretty spiritual person. I'm very creative but I've just been having trouble sort of regulating and keeping on an even keel. And I wonder if you have any guidance.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think your energy looks great. You do have, and I mean great when I say that, I really mean it. Like all of your chakras except for one is absorbing quite a bit of energy. And the one that I'm noticing that it doesn't have a traditional leak. It's not like the vortex is just leaking out life force. It's the energy that is moving into your second chakra. It's being absorbed, but then it's moving out. So it's not really able to contain the healthy, beautiful universal life force energy. It's just moving in, moving out, And the second chakra is all about joy, and it governs key areas of human experience. Intimate relationships, close personal friends, creativity, work, and money. It governs all of those areas. So, so that's up, like these are things that you need to look at and reevaluate. Like, am I really happy? Am I really fulfilled? If I'm not, what do I want in this area of my life, whatever area that is that pops up for you? And then do you do anything for your adrenal glands? Because I think a big part I think this is good for humans overall, but especially for women whose hormones are changing, which is a normal thing in the human reality for now. This is normal, right? The adrenals actually feed all of the endocrine organs. So they're like the powerhouse, like the generator that allows everything else to be functioning. And when the adrenals get low, which one of the reasons why they can get low is when women do go into menopause, when their estrogen and progesterone is having its own unique dance, learning a new language, going up and down and communicating differently, the adrenals will try to offer more support. And so it weakens the adrenal glands. If you feed your adrenals, then you start to feed the rest of your reproductive organs and all the rest of your hormones, like your thyroid gland, and it helps the pancreas too. Sometimes women experience higher levels of blood sugar when they move into hormonal aspects because they really need to feed their adrenals. So do you take stuff for your adrenals?
I tried something because I've heard you speak of this before, and I went and I got like a yogi tea that was for adrenals, and I had a really weird reaction to it.
Okay. Well, I think you need to take some capsules and a formula that's going to have like rhodiola in it, ashwagandha, holy basil, things of that. That's what I think. I also like I like having maca root in my adrenal formula, so that's what I take because maca feeds the female reproductive organs. So maybe not a tea, and go talk to someone, or even, do you guys have Pharmaca in California?
No.
Okay. But maybe go to a health food store and talk to someone and say, this is what I want to do. What would you recommend? And let them know what tea you were taking, because if they're educated in herbs, which I'm assuming they will be, they're going to maybe know what could have bothered you. And here's the other thing about herbs that not everybody understands. It's not like pharmacology. It doesn't work super fast. It works slow. And if your body's out of balance, you're going to feel weird when it starts to go into balance. I think that's also normal. Again, though, I don't want you to take something that you're having an allergic reaction to, right, or anything of that nature. So keep that in mind, that herbs work differently than pharmaceutical medicine.
Are there non-herbal roots? Because I've had some autoimmune issues, and it seemed like they were set off by some herbal treatments that I was getting, so I've been a little nervous about going down that.
Well, all the things that I just described are actually supposed to help your immune system. So I'm not a nutritionist, so I don't know that. I haven't heard that before, but anything is possible. So maybe start off with just rhodiola. Maybe take the ashwagandha out. Maybe that bothers you. Try some rhodiola, licorice root. But you have to be consistent with it, too. The adrenals take a long time to build up, typically. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I disagree with your immune system. It looks fine to me. So I think you tend to overreact about, you're really sensitive, you feel something, and you kind of go down a negative road. And I think you need to reevaluate that, if that feels appropriate to you.
Yeah, actually, it does.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'm really interested in your Greece trip, too.
Oh, great. Great. Well, it's filling up very, very fast. So I would, if that's something you're interested in, I would recommend calling today, because we might be sold out very soon. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks very much, Shelly. Yeah, look into that. You snooze, you lose. You got to get in now. Got to do it.
You're so cute.
Lori from Iowa is now joining us. Hi, Lori. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for taking my call.
Of course, Lori. What can we do for you?
Well, I would love a general reading, and I would especially like for you to maybe just take a glance at my left lung where I had pneumonia. That was about 4 months ago. I feel good, but I feel like, I'll say, a little stiffness in that left lung.
And when did you finish your antibiotics and all of that? When did that happen?
Well, I took one of those fluoroquinolones, which gave me some interesting reaction.
Right.
And that was 4 months ago.
Okay. So you're probably still releasing some negativity with some of the pharmaceutical drugs that you took, which you needed, right? I mean, we have to treat pneumonia.
So.
I think so. I believe in both forms of medicine. I just believe we need to be intuitive about it and not just agree with everyone. You know, like, oh, yeah, I have pneumonia, bacterial infection or whatnot. Yes, I need to take, powerful supplements or powerful pharmacology to make sure that I live, right? Like, it's really important.
Right. My concern is air pollution.
Yeah, you have to stop all of that. You have a lot of fear in your body, and you had fear even before the pneumonia. And I think humans are kind of like cockroaches. It takes a lot to kill us off. It really does. And the planet's already killed everybody once before. So I think you just have to learn to let go. And if you can value and find beauty and nature and trees and the sky and do things in your own environment that are healthy for you, like I never put a herbicide in my yard, ever. I never have, and I probably never will. I have weeds. Okay, so I've got some weeds. But I know that the frogs are happy and the deer and the bunnies can eat to their heart's content and nothing's going to affect them, at least from my yard. I can't speak for my neighbors' yards, but I can speak for my own. So just be mindful of your own space on the planet and don't invite toxins into your life by being worried about pollution. Don't live next to a mill or, some environmentally hazardous thing, to the best of your ability, but don't invite in the negativity. Everything's about perception. So how does that sound?
Well, it sounds consistent. And what about the general chakra reading? Are you able to?
I already read your chakras. The only place you have a very small leak is your fourth chakra, which does govern the lungs and the heart and the rib cage and the breast tissue. But it's just a tiny leak. And the rest of it looks great, other than your root chakra being elongated, which is part of that fear. It's just too big.
Right.
Probably your parents were fearful parents, worried about everything, or their parents or grandparents or whatnot were in the depression, or you know what I mean? Like there's some sort of historical fear-based energy that's really not related to you, but that you took in, if that makes sense. Pardon?
Yeah, I pick up on it.
Right, yeah. And so please don't. It's not your experience.
No, I thank you for that recognition.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I'm so happy you healed from the pneumonia. That's wonderful news.
Thanks for your help, Marie.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Thanks, Lori, for joining us. I think we have time for one more before the end of the show. We'll sneak her in.
We'll sneak it in.
Yeah, Mary from Seattle. Hi, Mary. Welcome to the show. Couple minutes. What's up?
Hi. Thank you. Thanks, Marie.
Of course.
Hey,
Hi, Mary.
I am calling about my daughter and making the decision on where to go to college.
Oh, so fun.
Yeah. And she got accepted at some great places. And kind of her dream school, though, is pretty expensive.
Yeah.
And
so
we didn't let that factor in initially, but now, she has to decide by May 1st. So it's like, okay.
Don't you guys have any rules? Like, we had rules. Like, our rules were, this is how much money you get for college.
Yeah.
So if you go out of state, this is how much money you get for college. And so all of our children chose to go to school in state because we were not going to pay some exorbitant fee because, you have to pay for everything, food, insurance, blah, 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 And then we also limited how much cash they would get for food. We gave them enough to survive and without eating more than top ramen. But we said, we want you to get a part-time job so you can buy the lattes that you want and extra pizza, go out to a beer with your friends when you become of age, which, of course, they were doing that way before. So you and your husband or whomever your primary partner is, you guys need to sit down and set some rules because she's been over-nurtured and she's really good at talking you into what she wants. And you need to think about your life and your future. Okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Great question,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
All right.
You.
Have a great day. Thanks for calling in. And thank you, everybody, for listening to the show. We wish everyone beautiful and joyful blessings. You can catch the show, like Benny said, on Tuesday mornings at 6 a.m. at the station, KKNW, or you can go to energyintuitive.com and listen to the hundreds of podcasts that are stored there. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of KKNW, its management, or other advertisers.